I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Annette Nazareth. She is chair at ICVCM. Annette, it's wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Judy.
Now, Annette, tell me, what is the Integrity Council for Voluntary Carbon Markets, and what's your mission and mandate?
Well, thanks for that question. The ICVCM is an independent governance body for the voluntary carbon market. We've been around since September of 2021, so we're relatively new. And we grew out of the work of an organization called the Task Force for Scaling Voluntary Carbon Markets, which was basically a gigantic work stream that originally was founded by Mark Carney, who you may know was the former head of the Bank of England and is very involved in climate matters. And we put together a group of over 250 organizations from all across the voluntary carbon markets to come up with a blueprint on what it would take to form a high integrity, scaled voluntary carbon market. And so that was our mission, that's what we came from. And we've spent all of our time now working on how to do that. How does one scale up a high integrity carbon market that can meaningfully contribute to our net zero goals? And ultimately, what we really are interested in is sort of having end-to-end integrity in the carbon markets. So that means the supply side, it means the markets on which voluntary carbon credits trade, and in the end, it also means how those credits are used, so the demand side as well.
Okay. All right, so earlier this year, you unveiled a timetable to introduce a high integrity label to the voluntary carbon market in Q3. Tell me about this and how it's progressing.
Well, we're doing very well, and you've got me at a good time because this week on March 30, we're going to be issuing the first of our deliverables, a very important one, which is our core carbon principles and our assessment framework for carbon crediting programs. So the core carbon principles are the principles, the high-level principles on which a high-integrity carbon market is based. And the assessment framework for the carbon crediting programs will set forth the criteria that those crediting programs will have to meet in order to get a CCP label. We're also issuing an assessment procedure that tells everyone what the process is for us to issue all these credits. And so we've made very good progress on that. And then following that, we will move to other parts of our agenda, which include issuing the assessment framework for the categories of carbon credits.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now as you look to the year ahead, tell me, what are you most focused on?
Well, looking to the year ahead, there's quite a bit to do because, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to do our assessment framework for the categories of carbon credits, which is very important and very aggressive. That's setting forth the criteria for basically the methodologies that are used in issuing carbon credits. And then once those are issued, we expect the crediting programs to start applying for the CCP label. And in addition, we will be studying those methodologies and determining which of them is worthy of the CCP label, with the hope that by the third quarter of this year, we will have crediting programs issuing credits with the CCP label. And that would be very exciting and very impactful because ultimately, this is what we need to do. We need to have high integrity markets that scale this activity and that make a meaningful difference to the world and to our net zero goals.
All right, now Annette, you are participating in the NYSE's first annual Sustainability Leadership Summit. Why do you think events like this are important?
Well, events like this are really important to me because of the feedback that I get. You have a lot of folks here who are involved with corporations that are very interested in this market and interested in acquiring credits. And to tell you the truth, our whole effort has been so enriched by the outreach that we've had from all sectors. Our core carbon principles were developed and put out for public comment, and we got lots of comments. Over 350 organizations commented, and so I think that our work product has been very much enhanced by that outreach. So events such as this are very helpful to me because it not only makes buyers aware of our efforts, but it gives us that two-way street where we can get their thoughts on what is useful for them. Because ultimately, what this CCP label will do will be to make it much easier for buyers to identify a high quality credit. Today it's very difficult. It's very hard for them to know what's a good credit versus a bad credit. And unless they happen to have a lot of climate scientists on staff, how are they going to be able to do the diligence that's necessary? But once we have this process in place, and we are putting this process in place so that carbon crediting programs can issue credits under this regime, I think buyers will have much greater confidence in the markets.
All right. Well, Annette, it's been wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk.
Thank you.